Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into one of my favorite topics, silver. I get so many questions about it, from beginners just starting their collection to seasoned stackers looking for a deeper understanding. So I thought, why not dedicate a whole video to answering the most common silver questions I see? We'll cover everything from the basics of what makes silver so special to the nitty-gritty of buying, selling, and storing it safely. Whether you're curious about silver as an investment, a hedge against inflation, or just love its history and beauty, you're in the right place. So grab a notebook, get comfortable, and let's get into the world of silver. First up, the big one. Why should I even consider buying silver? Great question. For thousands of years, silver has been recognized as real money and a store of value. Unlike paper currency, which can be printed endlessly, silver is a finite physical resource. This rarity gives it intrinsic value. Many people buy silver as a hedge against inflation. When the value of the dollar goes down, the price of precious metals like silver often goes up. It's a way to preserve your purchasing power over the long term. Beyond that, silver has massive industrial demand. It's in your phone, your solar panels, your car. It's a critical component in modern technology. This dual role as both a monetary metal and an industrial commodity gives it a unique and compelling investment case. So, you're convinced, but what kind of silver should you buy? This is where it gets fun. You've got options. The most common forms are coins, rounds, and bars. Government-minted coins, like the American Silver Eagle or the Canadian Maple Leaf, are incredibly popular. They're easily recognizable, have a specific weight and purity guaranteed by a government, and are highly liquid, meaning they're easy to buy and sell. Then you have silver rounds. These look like coins, but are made by private mints. They often have cool designs and can sometimes be purchased for a lower premium over the spot price. Finally, there are silver bars. These come in all sizes, from a tiny 1-gram bar to a massive 100-ounce bar. Generally, the larger the bar, the lower the premium you'll pay per ounce, making them a cost-effective way to stack a lot of weight. For beginners, I often recommend starting with 1-ounce government coins or rounds to get a feel for things. All right, let's talk numbers. What's the difference between spot price and premium? You'll hear these terms all the time. The spot price is the current market price for 1 troy ounce of raw silver, traded on commodity exchanges. It fluctuates constantly throughout the day. However, you can't just walk in and buy physical silver at the spot price. The price you actually pay is the spot price plus a premium. The premium covers the costs of minting, fabricating, distributing, and the dealer's profit. So, if the spot price is $30 an ounce, you might pay $34 for a Silver Eagle. The $4 difference is the premium. Premiums can vary a lot based on the product type, its rarity, and market demand. Generally, generic rounds and large bars have lower premiums than popular government coins. Now for a very important question. Where is the best place to buy silver? You want to make sure you're buying from a reputable source. My top recommendation is to stick with major online bullion dealers. These are large, well-established companies with a long track record of reliability. They offer huge selection, competitive pricing, and secure, insured shipping right to your door. Do your research, read reviews, and compare prices between a few of the big names. Another option is your local coin shop. Building a relationship with a good local dealer can be fantastic. You can see the silver in person before you buy it, and you get to take it home immediately. Just be sure to check their prices against the online dealers to make sure you're getting a fair deal. I would be cautious about buying from peer-to-peer sites or unknown sellers online, as the risk of getting fake or counterfeit silver is much higher. Okay, so you've bought your first shiny pieces. Now, how do you store them? Security is key. You don't want your hard-earned investment to walk away. The most common and secure method for most people is a good quality home safe. Make sure it's fireproof, heavy, and bolted to the floor. Don't tell everyone you know that you have a safe full of silver. Discretion is your best friend. For those with larger collections, or who just want extra peace of mind, you can consider using a third-party depository service. These are specialized high-security vaults that will store your metals for you for a fee. Another option is a bank's safe deposit box. While it's secure from theft, be aware of the limitations. Access is restricted to bank hours, and the contents are typically not insured by the bank or the FDIC. You'd need to get separate insurance for that. Let's switch gears and talk about the purity of silver. You'll often see numbers like 999 or 925. What do they mean? Most investment-grade silver bullion, like coins and bars, is 3 nines fine, which means it's 99.9% pure silver. You'll see this stamped as 999 on the item. Some products, like the Canadian Maple Leaf, are even 4 nines fine, or 99.99% pure. Then there's sterling silver, which you'll find in jewelry, silverware, and some older coinage. Sterling silver is 92.5% pure silver, stamped as 9 to 25. The The other 7.5% is usually copper, which is added to make the metal harder and more durable for everyday use. So when you're stacking silver for investment purposes, you're almost always looking for that 999 fine bullion. A common question is it better to buy gold or silver? There's no single right answer here. It really depends on your goals and budget. They're both precious metals that act as a store of value. The biggest difference is the price. Gold is much more expensive per ounce. This means you can buy a lot more silver for the same amount of money. Silver is often seen as more accessible for people just starting out. The gold to silver ratio, which is how many ounces of silver it takes to buy 1 ounce of gold, is a key metric many investors watch. Historically, that ratio has been much lower than it is today, leading some to believe silver is currently undervalued compared to gold. Many people choose to own both, diversifying their precious metals holdings. What about taxes? This is a big one, and I have to start by saying I'm not a financial advisor or a tax professional. You should always consult with one for your specific situation. That said, in the United States, precious metals like silver are generally considered collectibles by the IRS. This means if you sell your silver for a profit, that profit is subject to capital gains tax. The tax rate for long-term gains on collectibles can be higher than for other investments like stocks. The rules can be complex, and they can change, so it's incredibly important to keep good records of what you bought, when you bought it, and how much you paid for it. This will make things much easier for you and your accountant come tax time. How do you know if your silver is real? This is a fear for many new buyers. The good news is, if you stick to reputable dealers, the risk is extremely low. But it's still smart to know a few basic tests. First is the magnet test. Silver is not magnetic. If a strong magnet, like a neodymium magnet. Second, check the weight and dimensions. Get a small digital scale and a caliper. A real 1 ounce silver eagle should weigh 1 troy ounce, or about 31.1 grams, and have specific dimensions you can look up online. Fakes made of other metals often won't match both the weight and the size perfectly. There's also a ping test, where a genuine silver coin makes a distinct, high-pitched ringing sound when tapped. There are even apps that can help you with this. For high-value purchases, you can have it tested at a coin shop with a special machine called a Sigma Metalytics verifier. Finally, when is the right time to sell silver? This is just as personal as deciding when to buy. Some people sell when they need the money for a major life event. Others sell to rebalance their portfolio or to take profits after a big price run-up. Some stackers have no intention of ever selling. They see silver as generational wealth to be passed down. There's no magic signal that says, sell now. My advice is to have a plan before you even start buying. What are your goals? Are you looking for a 50% gain? Are you holding for 20 years? Knowing your why will help you determine your when. Don't let short-term price swings scare you into panic selling. Remember, for many, silver is a long-term game. Wow, we covered a lot of ground today. From why you should buy silver to how to store it, test it, and eventually sell it. I hope this Q&A session has cleared up some of your biggest questions and given you the confidence to take the next step in your silver journey. Remember, knowledge is your most powerful tool in this space. Keep learning, keep asking questions, and stack smart. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more content just like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.